Okay, we're back. We are back. How's everybody doing? We did it. We made it through the trials and tribulations, and now I can see chat without having my phone up at all times in very tiny text. Back in black. I hit the sack. Welcome. I did it. Welcome back, everybody. For those newly tuning in, yes, we are continuing our Sonic 3 playthrough, or our Sonic Marathon. Continuing with what many consider to be the best in the franchise. Yeah, probably just like the whole franchise, not even just the classic series. We have Sonic 3, containing Michael. I mean, music by the one and only Michael Jackson. Which, like, Yuji Naka is kind of like a big baby about. Like, he's supposed to be all hush-hush about it, but it's really funny because he's like, oh yeah, Michael Jackson? Yeah, no, he was cool. He, like, flew me around his penthouse on his, like, private plane. It was, like, really cool, and we talked about Sonic, and it's like, wow, yeah. And then Sega deleted the post. Crazy how that happens. Anywho's it. Welcome. We are going to be continuing this. This is also the one with blue spheres, which is my favorite, my favorite bonus game in the franchise. That is actually true. We get to collect blue balls. It's gonna be awesome. I wonder if the save menu is different in the Origins version, because this was the first game to like actually have saving as a feature, which is funny. I also love this. Like, the 3D is kind of weird with him on this one. This is around the time they made Sonic. What is it called? The one with the flickies and it's like 3D. It's not Sonic Boom. It's not Sonic Jam either. Oh, hey, look at that. That's my old save. We can choose. Oh, hey, Amy's here. Oh, we can mix and match. That's kind of cool. Why Amy and Tails? That's an odd matchup. We are going to keep it simple. I know it's like, girl, you can like. I think I like actually ran this through in my head earlier. I'm like, what if I'm playing and someone's like, why don't you play as Amy? And it's like, because Amy would make the game too easy. Amy would make the game too easy. Also, I'm trying to showcase, like, as close as I can, like, the experience of playing the game as intended. Direct continuation from Sonic 2. So Sonic has all the emeralds, and they're investigating this new island called Angel Island that has, like, shown up. I think they, like, followed, like, Eggman there, because, like, he crashed. Like, the Death Egg crashed here. That's the bit. I remember now. This game also introduced this little thing called the Air Dash. Not Air Dash, the Air Shield. So if I press A twice, there'll be that little, like, flash. That's supposed to make me invulnerable in that instance, but honestly, I don't think I've ever made it actually work. It's a very tight window. Anywho, yeah, I woke up and people were very nice to that short, and, like, Racketeer is, I think it had the highest turnaround of any stream I've had. And so I was very happy and thankful, and I woke up and I'm like, I want to stream again tonight, so that's what I did, and that's what I'm doing right now. This is collect blue, so it says collect blue spheres, but in the beta, it actually said get blue balls. And so it's kind of an in-joke with me and my friends. It's like, oh yeah, you could collect blue spheres, or you could collect blue balls. It's goofy. So the gimmick is that you're supposed to collect all of the little blue spheres. If you hit any of the red, it's game over. It gets faster as you collect more. If you go in a square, for anything that isn't those, they'll turn into rings instead. Which is good, because that's also how you get continues in the bonus round. But more importantly, it just deletes all of them and turns them into rings, so you don't actually have to collect them by going in a circle. I used to be really good at this minigame. I am not that good at this minigame anymore. I don't know what changed between my youth and now, but honestly, probably the transition. But, like, I cannot win this minigame. I'll be impressed if we get more than 3 emeralds by the end of this stream. Okay, perfect. That was a perfect. So you get a perfect by collecting all of the rings as well. That was a perfect run. So excited. I hope tonight's stream goes well. It will! I'm very excited. I'm very confident. And it's gonna be tight. Probably a transition. You're a treasure. Yay, I'm glad. I also finally fixed my mic stand. My mic stand used to be so low to the ground, so hopefully I sound better. At some point, there was a screw that fell out of this mic arm, and I can't find it. Big stretch. I'm talking about my mic arm, and you want me to pause the game to take a big stretch? Okay. I'm kidding. I will. Stretch your fingies. No, I'm gonna stretch my whole darn bodies. That's what you paid for. This is what you pay for. You dug the hole. It does feel nice, especially on my legs. I've been doing a lot of exercise because I want a specific form factor, even though it's not necessary. I want to take transition stuff seriously, so I've been eating properly, dieting, and exercising, and it's just cardio really. I say exercising. It's not like I'm hitting that grind every night. I'm just going on long walks and jogs, that sort of thing. Oh, fun story about this stupid song. This is the invincibility song from this game. Something that only bugs me because I'm a stupid nerd is... Oh, the drop dash is still here. There is an old Geico ad from around when Sonic Generations came out. It's not Geico, it's Progressive. And in the ad, like, it's like, oh yeah, Sonic, bundle and save, blah blah blah, and he does like the cool like end of level, like, yeah, like transition or whatever, to be like, yeah, do that, blah blah blah. But instead of playing the invincibility music from that game, they play the invincibility music from this game, Sonic 3. I don't know why. It's not like you can't, like, you were using the model from Generations. I don't know why you couldn't just use the music too. It's weird. It's a weird thing that's always annoyed me a little bit. Also, when we beat that level, that boss is unkillable. I think we end up fighting him later, but what we just did was effectively Act 1. So now the entire zone is torched and we have to go through it again, but on fire. I think a lot of the reason people love Sonic 3 is because of how dynamic it is, and I don't blame them. I won't deny Sonic 3 is good. It's honestly not my favorite out of the trilogy, and thinking about it critically, I think it is due to its length, and its level gimmicks I find to be a little annoying at times, especially in the stage we will see later on. Those who know absolutely know without me saying anything. But we'll get there when we get there. That's a good reason to stick around for anyone newly tuning in. Oh boy, oh boy. You see how fast it gets? It also gets a little disorientating over time. But yeah, that message really made my day, because I woke up and, like, this is like the first real day I felt like pretty dysphoric. So I woke up and I was like, oh, my voice so male, my hair looks stupid, I suck, blah blah blah. Honestly, it was due to lack of sleep. I've only been getting like 4 or 5 hours of sleep the last like week. So I took a nap and like all those feelings went away and I felt awesome. And then I woke up to all those nice comments and I felt really good. There's only one guy who was like, oh yeah, I don't really like the new avatar because like the old one looked better. They didn't really elaborate why. I'm like, yeah, no, I get it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I like this one more, not just for, like, transitioning reasons, but also because I think the ears don't block as much of the screen. Because sometimes when I stream with other people... Oh, there it is! Okay, well, so we fucked up, but that's fine. We were just going too fast. I'll do it one more time. But yeah, sometimes when I stream with other people, I have my avatar on like the bottom left or whatever, and it ends up clipping into the other people if there's like, it's not just me, which was very often the case when I was streaming with Nick. And so now that's not an issue anymore. I can be cute and occupy my own space without taking up everyone else's. It's goody. It's good. Kind of getting, like, unintentionally, of course, because Omori came later, but this night drop in the background looks like Omori. Probably shouldn't stare too closely. It's kind of distracting now that I'm looking at it. It's just a big ol' sphere world. Yeah, even what we're standing on is a sphere. I didn't think about that. Yeah, unfortunately, you guys get me at, like, the end of the day. So, like, I've been doing a lot of silly vocal training stuff, so I'm working on my voice. But then I'm, like, my voice box is, like, exhausted by the time I start streaming. So I want to be like, hi, everybody! Like, yeah, look at me! Yeah, I'm so, like, excitable and cool and awesome! It's like, alright, everybody. Hey, welcome to Sonic 3. I love Sonic 3. Sonic 3 is real cool. That happened last Sonic 2 stream. The last, like, Sonic stream for Sonic 2. I don't know why. Like, I was really energized for, like, a half hour. And then I got really sleepy. And everything just kind of, like, fell apart for me. Even though, like, no one else could tell, I was like, oh, I am not feeling this. Which sucks, because Sonic 2 was the game I was looking forward to most. I'm gonna KYS, by the way. Kiss your salami. I hate blue sphere. Circle in my purple, purple in my nest. Yeah! You got to see blue sphere. Hey, everypony, I'm here. Would you like to be called Dudette, or is that lame and gay? Nah, that's fine. You can call me whatever you want. Hey, peeps, welcome in, welcome in. Alright, back to it. But yeah, I do like Sonic 3. I'll say, I think Sonic 3 might have the best music in classic series. Like, obviously, like, yeah, Michael Jackson was involved, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, I don't even like a lot of the songs Michael Jackson added to the soundtrack. I think the Sega compositions are really good. Like, Big Arm? Oh my lord, like, the final boss track for this game's amazing. Oh, speaking of cool. Okay, it's not here. I think it's in And Knuckles, but there's a really cool boss theme. Where they use a sound effect that I swear is used in Smash as well. It's the, like, come on! Like, Captain Falcon does that. Let's see here. But yeah, when I get comments like that, I don't really throw a big fit, as long as they're not just, like, straight calling me a slur or something like that. People are generally nice, because it takes a lot of effort to be mean. Not Blue Sphere again. Save my friend, peeps. At least it's randomized. We're probably gonna fail this. Okay, screwed. Okay, there we go. But yeah, it takes a lot of effort to be mean, so generally, like, I got a comment a while back when I was like, oh yeah, I'd love it if people would, you know, follow the Twitch, because that's where I do, like, a lot of the stuff. Like, YouTube's great, but, like, yeah, please follow the Twitch if you get the chance. And someone was like, I would rather stab my eyes out with scissors. I was like, okay. I know via context clues that they are talking about Twitch and not me. So I inferred and was like, yeah, you know, Twitch, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, no, blah, 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 that's why. And I was like, yeah, cool, alright, glad we cleared that up without me having to directly ask. Things like that. Whereas I feel like a normal person would look at that and be like, oh, they hate me. Which is understandable. A lot of the time people are like that. I think, like, the worst comment I've gotten is someone being like, I want to do like a blank to you, but it was like referencing a YouTuber whose name I don't remember. They're like, I want to do like YouTuber to you, so I had to look it up, and it's like, it's just someone who like kicked their dog around. So it's like, okay, you want to like knock me around like an animal? That's fine, whatever. Oh, hi Nick, how's it going? Working on Wraithrot bullshit with streamer in the background. I'm sure this won't distract me at all. No, only if you like me a lot and you like pay attention to me because you think I'm so cool. I can encourage you to work on Wraithrot. I do that to Pan when Pan's exercising. I'm like, yeah, you can do it, blah blah blah. And it helps. People just love my motivation and support, I guess. And definitely for no other, like, spousal reasons. And don't worry, I'm finding all the special stages right now, but, like, after this level, I think Spring Yard's a different story, but after this level, they get a lot more sparse. I'm not as good at Blue Sphere as I used to be, as I mentioned. Whoa, okay, so I kind of fucked that up. Awesome. But yeah, this is a direct continuation from Sonic 3, or Sonic 2. So that's why we had all the emeralds, and now we're on Angel Island. That guy, Knuckles, took all of our emeralds, so we kind of want those back. On top of that, we know this is where the Death Egg crashed, so we're making sure that thing is inoperational. I'm pretty sure that is the actual reason why Sonic and Tails are here. In the background, meanwhile... Yeah, motivate me. You're my wife now. You're so cool, peeps. I think you're so awesome. You're nailing it. You're absolutely crushing whatever it is you're doing. Let's see, what was I on about? Thinking. I was talking about... Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, while all this is going on... Ah, damn it. Eggman happened to crash into, like, the ruins of Knuckles' like, island, yes. And it's like, oh yeah, don't kill me, blah blah blah. I'm not the one who's trying to like destroy your island. It's this guy named Sonic. I'm a good guy. Here, I'll help you stop him. I'll help you do whatever it takes. Blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, no, this Sonic guy sounds like bad news. I trust you. So like classic manipulation, which is funny because from here on out that same plot happens like every other game. Or Eggman's like, no, it's not me who's doing you wrong. It's Sonic. For this reason or this reason. And and Knuckles is like, I know this has happened like 3 times before, but goddamn, you're convincing. He just ends up fighting him again. Knuckles was like borderline anti-hero before Shadow came into the picture. Also, this set piece is really cool. So this guy's gonna carpet bomb me, and as long as I hold forward, it won't hit me. But it's still a cool visual because it comes really close. I thought this was the coolest thing ever when I was a kid. Egg, like, transgender. People have made, like, femme Eggman design. I forget what they call her, but it was, like, a big thing in, like, Mania. People wanted to, like Sega to recognize her as canon. I forget what her name was. It started with a J, I think. So yeah, he breaks the bridge. My question would be, like, how is he able to already put badniks all over the place? Like, I don't know the guy's methods, but, like, I assumed in Sonic 2 he had, like, a long time to, like, set up this plan or whatever. But basically everything here, he's using, like, scraps that he had from the Death Egg in order to make all this work. What if that counter goes above 99? Okay, now we're in like the big stage everyone remembers from this game. It is unfortunately the water level, but this song fucks. Welcome to Hydrocity Zone. I'm kidding. If you're stupid, that's how you pronounce it. But it's how a lot of people pronounced it for years before Sega confirmed that it's Hydro City. You're underwater. Why would it be called Hydrocity? Unless you're Megamind, that makes no sense. Hero of Hydrocity. There is, I forgot. So we did play this on Wii Scrubs forever ago. It's one of the like older series that we did that I am proud of. Aaron was backseat gaming as Tails, and right here, these little bubbles that you use to, you know, not drown. Aaron would always take from me as Tails, and I would just die. Tails in both this game and the last one is the second player, so he doesn't matter. If he drowns, he'll just come right back. If Sonic dies, it's over. You have to start the stage over again. So I got so frustrated as he just kept doing it without knowing. I guess I'll show this off. This is like a second type of bonus stage, but it's not as good because it doesn't get you a Chaos Emerald. Basically, you shoot yourself around. There's like one of 3 that this can be. You shoot yourself around, you play ping pong. If you touch that, you lose. But item boxes will drop, and that's how you can get, like, shields and things like that. Hope you guys like when I yap about this silly game forever and just don't stop talking. I'm just very excitable today. Today's a really good day, all things considered. Nice. This game does do speed well. It's not like Sonic 1 or CD. I guess CD did speed too well because the way that you went back in time was to go fast. Yeah, forever, we love you. Yay, I'm so glad. I kind of can't stop sometimes with this, like, game series, which is why I wanted to play it for stream. I like showcasing games. I like, you know, taking the opportunity when it's, like, my own bubble to be like, hey, here's this thing I like. Here's the reason I like it. You should like it too. Things like that. I feel like that's how you build an audience, in a way, is, like, common interest. I think Pan was asking me about that a while back. It's like, how do you, like, talk to people? And it's like, well, you can infer a lot by, like, their interests. Like, if, like, I used to do this in retail all the time back when I'd work up front. Also, Halloween colors. Back when I would work in retail, I'd see people, like, you'd see someone wearing a Pikachu shirt, for example, and you'd just make a passing comment like, oh yeah, I'd see the latest, like, Pokemon Direct that went out this morning, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I thought this one was cool. And it's like, oh yeah, I did, blah, blah, blah. Or like, oh, I haven't actually got to see it yet, blah, blah, blah. And if they say, what the hell's a Pokemon Direct? Then it's like, oh yeah, blah, it's like, you know, it's kind of like E3, but they just show off, like, you know, little cool things about the next Pokemon game and so on. Or they, like, discuss cool things for the anniversary, like merch. They're like, oh, that's cool, I'll check that out. And, like, that's just how you have a conversation. And then from there, you can infer a lot. Like, okay, so if they know Pokemon, they're probably a Nintendo fan. So you, like, just start engaging them on other things. Like, oh, yeah, and, like, you know, I don't use my Switch much anymore, but, you know, I recently finished Thousand Year Door, and Thousand Year Door holds up about as well as I remembered. Have you ever played it? And it's like, no, what is that? Or, yes, I love that, blah, blah, blah. And you just keep, like, the chain going. I see a lot of things mechanically, unfortunately. Just kind of how my brain works. Kind of like a video game, where it's like, okay, now I have, like, a combo going. Now what else can I say? Just things that string into other things. Okay, we got a perfect. We kind of win. I'm kind of really good at this. But only when I succeed. Not when I fail, like the last 3 times I did this special stage. Sonic got a Chaos Emerald. I'll take a sip. Awesome! Back in the fucking building again. The stages also feel a little longer in this game, but it's not as bad as Sonic 1, where you have 3 acts, thankfully. Also, I shouldn't speak too soon, but I'm happy we have not lost a life or anything yet. And then I get hit. This one's easy. A lot of the bosses early on, like, they're very good at power scaling. Also, the goal ring falls down now. And for this and a couple of other games going forward, if you, like, jump into it, there's, like, a 1 in... I think there's, like, a 5% chance that it'll drop an item box or something like that. So it gives you, like, a little boost at the start of the next stage, basically. The wall is closing in on us. I have died here a few times when I was younger. But it goes pretty slowly. The spin dash is a lot more useful in this game than it was in the last game where it was introduced. Hydrate, stupid. I just drank water. I'll drink more water, but I hate being healthy. Being healthy sucks. I'm gonna dangle Sonic in front of these spikes while I drink. Awesome. I took a sippy. Now you get to see the grabby hands. Show me the grabby hands. I think they're a little later into the stage, but soon there's gonna be little hands. Yeah, there it is. The grabby hands! And they set you forward. They immediately put you in Mach speed. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the special stage for the goal post only triggers when you have 50 rings or more, which is a callback to Sonic 2. Because that's how special stages worked in that game, but since that's not the case, they wanted to carry over that mechanic a little bit. Alright, alright, alright. And land. When I was younger, I don't think it's true, and I know I just keep yapping about when I was younger, but it is when I played these games, like, and really got into them at first. There was a thing, I used to sneak into the library and look up cheats for video games, and then I'd print them off, so I'd go to, like, IGN or whatever, and be like, cheats for Sonic Mega Collection Plus, and then I'd, like, print that off. There was one time I got in trouble for it from a teacher that was actually really cool, and it bummed me out. And they had me write, like, a big ol' essay on, like, why I suck for sneaking off to print off, strategy guides and whatnot for video games without telling the teacher. Which I did tell them, they just forgot, and I took it on the chin. But my point to all of this is to say, there was a cheat that I read where apparently if you hold down and you spin dash and you just press it a billion times, you'll go like 3 times as fast as you normally would. That is false. I have tested this. It is not true. You go just as fast as if you pressed it just once. But now that I, like, have ingrained in me that is some sort of cheat, I always press the button like 50 times before I let go for no damn reason. I love Sonic. I used to be so crazy and pilled with this franchise that I knew every Badnik by name. Like that one, I probably could have told you what it was called. I don't remember anymore. I probably replaced that knowledge with a bunch of other factoids that don't matter about other games. I'm basically Did You Know Gaming, basically, if you think about it. Sometimes I sleep to that noise. I just like long-form content to sleep to that's loosely related to things that I like, but not quite interesting enough for me to pay attention to. Uh-oh. Like in the last 2 games, if you go too fast, you can run into problems where you clip through the terrain and the game just kills you because it doesn't know where to put you. Which sucks, because the game is built for speed, so you'd think they'd factor that in, but unfortunately the Genesis can only do so much. That's Knuckles! That was a reference to the, like, Sega does what Nintendo don't. That was like the ad back then for the Genesis. So petty. And that continued up until, like, the PS1 era. My favorite, like, fuck you, Nintendo ad that ever came out from a non-Nintendo company was, gee. Kind of forgot how this fight works. Was Crash Bandicoot. When Crash 1 came out, there's an ad where the gimmick is Crash is going to Nintendo headquarters with a megaphone to be like, hey buddy, fuck you! Just like screaming at like these random people. It's really goofy. I recommend checking it out. There's like comps out there of that. Oh, I'm blowing it. The boss theme is so good. There we go. Awesome. I don't really have an estimate for how long Sonic 3 will take, but my plan is to get through all of Sonic 3 in this stream. And the next stream, we do And Knuckles. So for those not in the know, back in the day when this game came out as Sonic 3. And then a couple months later, they released an add-on called And Knuckles, which like literally clipped into your copy of Sonic 3 on Genesis, like on top of it. And what it did was it unlocked the second half of the game. You might be wondering, oh, you're not. You might be wondering how much it cost. Sonic 3 was a full-priced game. And Knuckles was also a full-price game. Which is scummy, because it's the second half of the game. Like, I guess that's not too uncommon nowadays, but I'd be so mad. Imagine you buy, like, Bloodborne or, like, you know, something like that, and it's like, wonderful! And then in 3 months, they're like, here's Bloodborne 1.5. $70, please. It's just annoying. they tried to justify it because, and Knuckles, you could also lock on to Sonic 2, and that would allow you to play as Knuckles within Sonic 2, which was kind of a big deal, because Sonic 2 was not made for Knuckles' moveset, so you can pull some really cool shenanigans. It's good fan service at the very least. And then, if you plugged it into Sonic 1, obviously, Sonic 1 was made without the intention, like, they didn't really think there was going to be a sequel, I don't think, because all it lets you do is play the blue ball minigame. But you can play it like a roguelike, because it's just an infinite number of blue ball game. There we go. Oh yeah, if anyone wants to, there is an in-stream RPG that you can activate by pressing !RPG, and then, you know, you'll be on the top right of the screen. It holds on to your progress. And it's a gay old time. I really enjoy it. I think the highest anyone is in stream in that currently is level 26. You have some catching up to do, but it's fun. I think this is the first stage where my brain checks out just a little bit. I'm still enjoying myself, don't get me wrong. I just mean as far as, like, stage design. This stage is too long. Sonic 3 is the only game in this entire series, and I'm including the modern games, too, where I go over the time limit and die. In this game, maybe it's fixed for the Origins version, but in the original, you only have 10 minutes to beat a stage. If you don't beat it in 10 minutes, you just die. The game just kills you. And Sonic 3 just has stages that can be that long. We'll actually get to that with the next one, especially Act 2 of that stage. I kind of hate it. But the goal is to showcase every Sonic game, and I would be remiss to not include, you know, one of the only numbered titles. I think this is the last numbered title. The last numbered title that matters, okay? Yeah, I just remembered. I'm talking to myself right now. Because Sega did eventually make Sonic 4. It is titled Sonic 4. But the game sucks. It is a cash grab that is meant to appeal to mobile gamers. It is called Sonic 4 Episode 1. Episode 2 is the same problem as Knuckles, where they charge full price for the second half of the game. A game that sucks. It's in, like, 2.5D, but before that, like, style of game, like, looked good at all, or anybody really knew what they were doing. So it was just mobile fodder they were calling Sonic 4. It was absolutely no question meant to compete with New Super Mario Brothers, which had just released. It's like, oh yeah, we're returning to form, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's bad. I think I need that blue thing in order to crash the floor down there, so hopefully I can get another one. Or I can just do that, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Oh yeah, in this game, the shields work a little differently. They aid your movement and can propel you in different ways. So the electric one allows you to get, like, a double jump, and the fire shield lets you go, like, foo, like that, and puts you at good speed. The water shield just gives you a cool bounce. I think the water shield's my favorite, honestly. Tails is also useful in this game. We're going to see that at the end of Act 2 for that fight, but the second player can actually lift Sonic to areas he otherwise wouldn't be able to get to, and it makes the game easier, which is cool, because, like, you know, if you pass the controller to, like, your little brother or whatever, he'll actually feel important, and not just like he's hanging around. Tails is the, like, you know, you're sitting down next to, like, your older sibling, and it's like, here, shut up, here's a controller. Act 2, Marble Garden. This is kind of like... I don't remember the stage, so I probably shouldn't have opened my mouth. It's kind of like that stage from Sonic 2, but better. There's a stage in Sonic 2 that's a little similar. Like, that is the appeal with this game. It is Sonic 2, but better, and that's why people like it. Among other reasons, I'm sure. I wonder how many people like this game only because Michael Jackson was involved. I bet there's like a select amount of freaks who just really like Michael Jackson and are like, I like this game because Michael Jackson did the music. He didn't do all the music. It's a common misconception. I guess I should get into that, as that is kind of important to Sonic 3's history. So there's a lot of stories about how it didn't pan out, but Sega was a really big fan of Michael Jackson, and especially Sega of America used a lot of Michael Jackson like style iconography to get people to like Sonic, in the way of it's like, oh yeah, Sonic's cool, Sonic's jiving, Sonic's like, you know, Michael Jackson, the way he's like, you know, so like, you know, acrobatic, but also like he's got that cool factor from like the bad era, you know, like Smooth Criminal, that sort of thing. And so they use that, and they asked Michael Jackson's estate if he would be interested in making music for Sonic 3. Turns out Michael Jackson was actually a pretty, like, not like a big fan of the franchise, but he was interested in doing video game music. And I think like one of his friends or his like kid at the time was like a big fan. So he's like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. So he signs on and like composes like a couple tracks, and allegedly the falling out happened when he heard the songs through the Genesis' sound chip and was like, this is shit. This did not sound how I wanted it to sound, and I'm bummed. I don't really want to be involved in this anymore. And so they cut his name from the OST. More realistically, this Sonic 3 released around the time of, you know, various scandals, you know, the ranch and whatnot. And so it's like, yeah, we probably, hear me out here, probably don't want to be affiliated with that guy, considering we are releasing a game for children, and so on. So, yeah, that's more realistically the reason. But I do like the idea that Michael was like, this sounds like shit, I want nothing to do with this. Just didn't release. But weirdly, so we know what songs he composed because of the songs that were removed from this game. Also, Yuji Naka did just straight up, like, he was asked on Twitter one time, like, shortly before he got arrested, a year or two back. It's like, did you ever work with Michael Jackson on Sonic 3? And he's like, yeah, no, he loved Sonic 3. Like, we showed him demo stuff. He, like, flew me around his house on his, like, little helicopter. It was fun. And then Sega deleted the tweet. So, yeah, we, like, basically have that in writing, which is funny. Because it was a rumor that went around for years and years. Michael Jackson did a lot of things behind the scenes. He wrote Do the Bartman, which is a song for The Simpsons. That topped the charts, and no one knew it was him for a long time because he wanted to go uncredited. Things like that. He's one of those figures that I know a lot about because his existence intrigues me to no end. He is just such a unique individual, for better or worse, and he's just fascinating. I don't know. I can't even fully pinpoint why. Like, him and, like, the Beatles, I could watch, like, an infinite amount of documentaries about and still feel like there's stuff unsaid that, like, I feel like I should know. So yeah, that's the story there. But he only really composed, like, 4 songs for this game. All the other songs were composed by the person who did the music for Sonic 2. And it shows, because those songs are really good, like the ones in Sonic 2. And at the very least, Michael Jackson, to my knowledge, didn't work on anything after that. Within Sega, anyway. There he is. Boss time. Oh, darn. Oh, yeah, I forgot the gimmick. Alright, Tails. Time to be useful. Such a cool effect with, like, the stage disappearing. Oh no, Sonic's dead! Whoa, but what is that? Okay, so yeah, Tails is useful in this stage. We fall down, and Tails is, like, lifting us up. How he's able to do this for so long is beyond me. Probably pure adrenaline. Because when you're playing as Tails, to nerf him, he can only fly for, like, 3 to 5 seconds. But he's doing all the heavy lifting here. Literally and, like, metaphorically. Okay, call me immature, but, like, I swear, Eggman just took, like, a big, like, dump on the way out. What was that sound effect? Stop, it makes me giggle. Why does he do that? Okay, we did it. I don't think you can actually die by falling in this stage. Oh, Tails? Help! Alright. The moment we've all been waiting for. The most infamous stage in the classic series. For reasons we will see. Introducing Carnival Night Zone. Also the new music that they used to replace Michael Jackson. Suck. Doesn't even fit in with the soundtrack. This stage blows chunks. I love how it looks visually. It's so fun. I think the aesthetic of a theme park is awesome. And it's kind of continuing the trend of, you know, the other Sonic games where it's like, oh yeah, you have Spring Yard Zone, which is kind of casino-like. Then you have Casino Night Zone, which is kind of casino-like. Then you have this, which isn't exactly a casino, but it's like a theme park. It's like kind of a similar vibe. But it's bad. It's bad. There's so many mechanics that are just stupid and don't really work because the game doesn't tell you how they work. There was a guy in stream when I did Sonic 2 that said that in the manual it tells you how to do certain things, but, like, nobody holds on to those. And he said, like, even at the time that he played it, like, when it came out, he's like, yeah, no one held on to those things. Alright. I'll be able to showcase that mechanic when it comes up. But when I said there's a stage in this game where I broke, like, the 10-minute mark, this was that stage. See, look, this is one of those mechanics. This rises by jumping up. But you have to, like, give it some give, so you gotta, like, push it, and then it inflates you further. It's weird. And then you have these spinny stages, which are ripped straight from, the final act in Sonic 1. And these, which are also basically the same mechanic, but they only work if you're spin dashing. It's dumb. This stage almost made me hate Sonic 3. It's also kind of just overstimulation station. Because there's so much to see, so much to look at, and not in a fun way. There we go. I mean, Grown Girl complains about, like, child's game on the internet, but still. I have my gripes. This nice little corkscrew. Let me see. Oh yeah, but Racketeer was so fun. I do plan on continuing that. I'll just kind of lay out my stream plans. So I'd eventually like to get to a point where I'm streaming 5 days out of the week. I think that'd be really nice, especially, you know, since I'm actually making money off of it. Like, even if it's not a lot, I'm still doing something that I enjoy and turning a profit. And I like that a lot. I'd like to do it frequently if I can. And in the meantime, I'm going to be keeping up this, so, you know, every Sonic game ever, like the marathon. And then, while that's going, we are going to be continuing Racketeer until that's over. So after this stream, like, the next one will probably be Racketeer. And then, I'd like to play Katamari Damacy, because that's a game, that's another one like Racketeer that I've always wanted to play, but have never really had the opportunity to do so. So I'm going to do it on stream. And then I'm going to do, like, from that, like, whichever one ends first, definitely Racketeer. because we still have, like, I think 10 or 12 more games to get through with this, which I do fully plan on doing. I'm going to do the Pit of 100 Trials stream for, like, Paper Mario as, like, a one-shot. And then we'll move on to the next long game. I promised my husband it would probably be Skyward Sword, because I've never actually played it, but we'll see. I was going to do Twilight Princess, because I have nostalgia with that game. But that game's also stupid long, even by Zelda standards. Okay, there we go. Act 1 of this stage wasn't so bad. It's Act 2 that I hate. Feels like Tetris, the way the, like, blocks are lowering here. Awesome. I like positioning myself at the goalpost so Sonic kind of blends in with it. Oh, this part goes hard. Forgot about this. You should play more FNAF forever. Maybe I'll do FNAF 2. I think that'd be fun. I just continue that noise. I'm better at FNAF 2. I'm sure you disagree watching me play it, but I have a strat. In FNAF 2, you basically only need to use 2 cameras. You use one camera to keep an eye on the puppet, obviously, to, like, wind him up. And then you use the other camera in Parts and Service to keep Mangle occupied and Balloon Boy. And that's it. Other than that, I just kind of stay in the cams as often as possible and, you know, flash the hallway when that's necessary for Foxy on, like, 20-second intervals, depending on the night. And then only put my mask down when one of the animatronics pulls it down. And that's kind of my strat. Did you know, did you know Markiplier faked his FNAF 2 1021? I keep getting that video, my recommendations, and I'm really interested in checking it out. I'm not exactly surprised, but I'm also like, aw man, that sucks. Granted, his FNAF 2 reaction is a lot more, like, it's less memorable than the FNAF 1, obviously, but it's just like, aw, my Meow Meow, you didn't have to lie. Just, like, give yourself a little time. You could have done it for realsies. What was miserable was watching him stream Ultimate Custom Night back when that came out. I remember catching those streams, and he was just miserable doing the 50-20 mode, and I'm like, oh, you don't have to do this. Okay, so here's the stupid thing with this stage that made a lot of people quit. You see what I'm doing right now? I'm pressing up and down to make this thing, like, do its thing. Nobody knew that that's what you were supposed to do. Nothing in the manual says it. Nothing says it anywhere. So what a lot of kids thought was the case, it's like, okay, it's going down. So you jump. Nothing happens. So it's like, okay, it's like a momentum thing. And that works sometimes. But no, you're supposed to press up and down to make it function. And it's stupid. Because it doesn't work most of the time. So how would anyone figure that out? But yeah, it's one of those things where it's, like, you know, I was looking at the comments of that video, and they're like, TLDR, like, yes, he faked it, but also, who cares? Because in, like, the larger sphere of the fandom, it's like, you know, it led to more good than harm, I guess. It's like, sure. But I still just want to see how he did it. I'll still watch the videos. I want to know how that went down. But people went kind of crazy mode on it. Like, they did the thing where they, like, accuse a speedrunner of cheating and then, like, frame by frame that stuff. Oh, did we do it? Oh, no, we're in the second half of this stage. So what if you combine this, like, overstimulating level that I hate, and now, inexplicably, it's a water level. Isn't that great? Doesn't that, like, combine your two favorite things with Sonic? It's like, wow, I can't go fast. And there's too many things to look at, so it's hard to pay attention. And I'm underwater. Also, first death, and it was bullshit. Like, I hate being crushed in these games. You should stream yourself reacting to the video. I don't know. I used to think about doing like React style content. I don't know if I could. If I did like React style things, I think it'd be fun to react to like old anime that like I wouldn't get DMCA'd for and stuff like that. That might be fun. Okay, get me out of here. Awesome. I hate this stage. I hate this stage so much. And I have to lock in just a little bit because of the way it is and how I'm underwater. There we go. That was at the last possible second. That hit 0. At least the music in Act 2 is better than in Act 1. I'll give it that. Whoa, alright. It's also fun in Sonic watching people who didn't grow up with it, like non-fans, so on and so forth, playing the games. I handed Pan the controller for Sonic Adventure 2 and was like, I just really want to see how you play and how far you get. And it was kind of a riot, not gonna lie. Because when you don't grow up with these games, the momentum kind of messes with you. And you're used to Mario, where the idea is like, okay, I go left to right, blah, 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 even in like a 3D platformer. So what kept happening, I think, was Pan was not going fast and not, like, you know, just trying to get to the end of the stage as fast as possible. He was, like, taking his time and exploring and, like, walking really slowly. And I'll admit, it made me mad. I'm like, no. No, you're wrong. Why are you playing this wrong? Haven't you seen me play? Look, I'll show you how I do it. And it's like, yeah, but, like, my brain doesn't work like that. And it's funny. It's like, wow. This series has conditioned me. If they released a Sonic game that was like a traditional platformer, I think my brain would explode in a bad way. I'd be like, this is wrong. Like how Final Fantasy fans get angry that like 16's not a Final Fantasy game. I'd have like that level of crash out. But for Sonic. I'm surprised they didn't do that with Frontiers. I liked Frontiers a lot, but I felt like that game came out just barely, like at the threshold of games trying to mimic the success of Breath of the Wild. Like it came out long after games like Genshin Impact and whatnot, so I felt like they were really slow on that draw, to their detriment. That's how it feels watching you play FNAF. I don't even doubt it. The whole time I was playing FNAF 1, I'm like, oh, this is probably going to be the most frustrating thing possible for anyone watching. Because I do not play this game optimally. And even when I was playing it, I was like, okay, I'm doing good, blah, blah, blah. And what would happen is I'd get to, like, 3 a.m. and then just, for some reason, my brain's like, close both doors, and I do it. Get me out of this hell. I hate this stage. We're already at 6 minutes on one stage. Am I going backwards? I might be going backwards. Okay, good. This is where I got stuck as a kid. I couldn't get past this specific one that goes up and down. Couldn't do it. No matter how hard I tried. This specific one was the ire of me and many, many other children. Which sucks, because I'm pretty sure this is the end of the stage. Go down. Wrong way. There we go. Awesome. Candy canes! It's Christmas, everybody! Look, Merry Christmas! And sometimes you will go too fast, and things will just crush you to death that you didn't see coming. That is something in this series that annoys me. It does not change in later entries. That's the problem when you make a game about going fast, but you still put hazards. It's an inevitability. There's a special stage there that I missed, and that's fine. I feel like I stutter a lot more recently, and I'm gonna blame the weather, honestly. Sometimes it feels like words are harder to make with my lips due to the temperature. It's not even cold in my house, but like, the air's different. There we go. Hey, Knuckles. Is the stage over, Knuckles? Can I go home, Knuckles? Yes. Yes, good, good. Darn. I don't remember the gimmick here. We will figure it out. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it's magnetizing me. So then what there? It's clearly going to do a thing. Okay, so he goes down, and that's when I hit him. Got it. Wow, the air shield actually worked for once. I also made dinner tonight. I made homemade pizza. I like sharing the food that I make with my friends, but I don't really do it with a homemade pizza because I do it the same almost every time, and it looks really aesthetically pleasing, but it's like, you know, I don't know. It's a weird mental thing for me. But I love how it tastes. I made like a recipe, and I've always had this recipe. I've had it for like a year or two. But I perfected it because there's the Final Fantasy XIV cookbook of all things has a recipe for another Michael Jackson composed song. This one's really cool. Look, you go down and it's like a snowboard. This concept is done just a little better in Sonic Adventure when we get there, but this is a very iconic stage from this game. And then the snow falls on you. Anyway. Yeah, pizza's really good. It's it's pizza from Norvrant, which is in the first, which is like a thing in 14, where it's basically pizza from another dimension that is like similar to like the reality. So the bit with 14, this isn't really spoilers, it's just world building in my opinion. In 14, there are 14 worlds that are all tied to, like, Heidelin, which is, like, the god of the world. And within that, there's the Source, which is, like, the main world. And then there are 14 other worlds that are split from it. In, like, numerical order. And the closer you get to the Source, the more like the Source it is. We're gonna fail here. Okay, we didn't. So if you go to the first, for example, it's almost going to be like one-to-one like the Earth, but, you know, there's subtle differences. Like, the people are different. They've, like, led different lives and things like that. Whereas, you know, you go to the 14th and it's, like, completely, like, bizarro, weird world that's, like, nothing like what you know. But there's this whole plot line in Shadowbringers, the third expansion, where you are sent, like, spiritually to the first to aid in a world-ending conflict. Because if you don't save the world there, and, like, that world dies, it will cause a cataclysm within the Source that will, like, destroy all life. So you kind of want to prevent that. But anyway, that's where my stupid pizza comes from, is the first. So in this weird fantasy world, they just kind of have pizza. It's not explained. And the recipe for my Final Fantasy XIV cookbook that Pan got for me for Christmas last year has a recipe for pizza. And I adapted the recipe for the sauce and the dough into my pre-existing recipe. And now it's been perfected. So I have, like, this weird Frankenstein monster pizza of pizza from Final Fantasy XIV mixed with the stuff that I make for normal human beings. Yeah, I gave up on that special stage. I kind of getting sick of them. I love collecting the blue balls, but sometimes the stage design gets really frustrating because it's randomized. There's no human element aside from placing the assets. And so sometimes I'll get a layout that's really dumb, and I'll be like, this is the game's fault. This isn't even mine. Now I have the hiccups. I'm so mad. Darn. I fell down the forever stairs. Okay, I think I'm supposed to land on that and, like, ride it down. Okay, yeah. I'm right about everything. Give me pizza. I'd love to give you pizza. I was thinking about that. It's like when I move to the Promised Land, I will make everyone pizza. I'll make like 4 of them. It'll be awesome. I just need a lot. I'll just basically double my pre-existing recipe. It'll be cool. I get to make everyone pizza. It's gonna be sick. I know how to make a lot of foods. I'm not like a chef or anything. I wouldn't consider myself like really knowledgeable with cooking, but what I do know how to make, I am proud of. Ah, I hate the drop dash. I hate the drop dash. Repeat it with me. I hate the drop dash. The drop dash is fine, but sometimes it messes with things. Like, I had to turn it off in Generations because the game was not designed with the drop dash in mind. And so I'd get really frustrated going for 100%. Because, you know, things would just happen. Pizza party, yeah, it would be awesome. And everyone would love it. And they'd be like, you're so cool. And I'd be like, yeah. I'll basically do anything to have people call me cool. That's really it. We're in a big old ice cavern. I think this is the second to last zone. We're actually making better progress than I thought we would, because in my opinion, I kind of suck at this game, which is part of the reason why I don't like it as much as the other two. But we're moving. In fact, I'd say if we get through this before or around the hour-and-a-half mark, I'll play one of the Game Gear games again. Just for, like, a little extra content. I was gonna dedicate some of those to, like, its own stream where I kind of showcase, like, oh yeah, here's, like, the, you know, lesser titles that were coming out around the time that aren't mainline and things. But if I can incorporate them here, I might not have to do that. In a positive way, I'd still, like, make it fun. But then that wouldn't have to be its own dedicated stream where I play the games no one really gaffs about. Alright, moving on. Okay, I definitely have to push this or something. Yeah. There's a lot of mechanics like that in this game where it's like nothing told me that I could push that. I just felt like it was a thing that I could do, and I tried it, and it worked. But not in the way where it's like Breath of the Wild or another game like that, where it's like you try and it works because, you know, with the game's physics you can imply one thing or another. It's like, no, it just does. Constantly taking damage from standing on spikes. Yeah, no, it's really funny. If you just, like, focus on Tails and not me, Tails is really incompetent. But as I was saying earlier, this is the one game that I think that Tails is useful if you, like, hand the controller to, like, a younger player or something like that. They can still help you out in a way that matters. Because Tails can reach a lot of places that Sonic can't. And he can deal damage to bosses without, you know, you getting directly in harm's way. Darn it, I did it again. It sucks. Local gamer girl is not a big fan of Ice Cap Zone from Sonic 3. Keep trying to say Sonic 2, because it's the game I like more. What's crazy is this game came out only, I think, a year and a half, or like 2 years before the PlayStation 1. Nothing crazy there, I just think it's neat. You can kind of see, like, the evolution of, like, the industry and where things were at certain times. Oh, hey, there's, like, snow here. Oh, it's gonna start snowing soon. That's kind of crazy. I keep forgetting how late in the year it is. I'm excited. Like, Thanksgiving's next week. What happened? It doesn't feel like that at all. Tails, grab that, please. Well, okay. That's fine, Tails. You know, I didn't want to live through this fight anyway. That's really fine, you know? Wonder if I should just kiss my salami, because I don't think I'm going to survive this onslaught. Okay. Tails! Tails, get him! Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. It's gonna be weird seeing family again. because, like, me and Ben aren't out to them, so it's going to be really funny. But, you know, we have a joke that we say where it's like, until we move to the promised land, like, we're old money, but spiritually, we're new money. Come on, say it, we're new money. And Ben's like, we're new money. It's funny. It's just our saying. That way nothing can really faze us, I guess, when it comes to, like, things like that. What do I do? Okay, that's what I do. I gotta wait for him to come around and then I smack him. I mean, I guess that's the case with most bosses in any game. But you get the gist. Okay. Ah, I missed. That sucks. And my ring's gone. Shame that. Luckily, there's no lives in this game. Well, there are in the original, but not in the Origins version. The Origins version increases the resolution to 16:9, which is really nice. The Origins version were adapted from the Christian Whitehead versions, which are the mobile versions of the game. Christian Whitehead is a big guy in the Sonic, like, fan community. He started off as a fan, and then did such a good job, like, recreating the physics from the Genesis games perfectly, that Sega hired him to completely recreate the Genesis games from scratch. And that's where the mobile versions come from. Darn. And the Origins version is basically just the mobile versions, but ported here with, like, a little more going on. But yeah, that guy's crazy for being able to do that, really. Because not only did he, like, completely backport all of the games, but he also added, like, new features. There's, there's time trials, and you can play as different characters that weren't there originally, like Knuckles or Amy and things like that. And nobody asked him to do it, he just did it for funsies. And I respect that a lot. Christian Whitehead is a cool guy. From everything I've heard, anyway. I feel like Ian Flynn gets a little too much credit for, like, modern choices from Sega. But aside from, like, the art for this game's, like, animated cutscenes, I don't think he had anything to do with it. Okay, I'm locking in. We are not going to die to this boss for a third time. But yeah, Sega's a really good company when it comes to acknowledging fan work. I really like that about them. Basically, I think their thing is as long as you're not making any direct profit from any of their assets, you can do whatever you want. And they're really nice about that. That's why there's so many fan works out there. Although that does lead to one negative, where apparently Sega, anytime they make a new character, or, like, you know, original character, they have to look up whether or not someone's already used it as, like, a fan thing. So, like, pre-Sonic Adventure 2, you know, Sega probably is like, you know, or 06, it's like, Blaze the Cat, Sonic X Reader, AO3, or something like that, and that visual's funny to me that they, like, had to do that to make sure that wasn't taken. This is why Sega's better than Nintendo. Yeah, no, like, you see anything done with Pokemon, that is shut straight down as soon as possible. To an annoying degree. Okay, good. And yeah, there's a lot of really good fan works out there. A highlight for me that I played recently is a recreation of, what is it called? Sonic Blast, which is a Game Gear title, but someone remade it as a Genesis game and made it kind of like a pseudo sequel to this game, and it's considered by many to be the definitive version of that game now, even though it's a fan work. And Sega like loves promoting it and being like, yeah, look at this cool thing. Also, Sonic Mania's entire existence is due to fans. They compiled all of the best like fan game creators at the time for classic series and was like, how would you guys like to make your own game? So they gave them their own studio and told them to go to town, basically. And they did. And Sonic Mania is also considered one of the best games in this series. And the original devs had nothing to do with it. I think the only thing they told them was, hey, in the post-credits, can you make this thing connect to Forces, because that's our next game? And they're like, yeah, we'll do that. So that's why, like, the Phantom Ruby's involved. And also why we're not covering Mania immediately after this game. Locking in just a little bit here. Yeah, we're not going to cover Mania in any capacity until... Okay. We're not going to cover Mania until before Forces, because that's when it takes place. And it'll also be a nice break of pace from all the 3D games we'll have to play. When we get there. Damn. Okay. This boss fight's annoying me just a smidge. I hate this thing. What even is it? I don't get the mechanic. I feel like I'm just kind of blowing it. Damn. Tails can just barely not reach it. I'm just relying on luck and whimsy. Whoa, I thought you said heist break for a second and brain rotted. I'm glad people are brain rotted in any capacity about heist break. I was not really locked in for that last session as much as I wanted to be, which kind of sucked. But I still think it was fun and everyone enjoyed it, so I'm glad. I think I just put more stock in making it as good as possible because it was so close to the Ghoul Shift anniversary. I'm like, okay, this one has to, like, have as much content as possible. So I did what I could there. For better or worse, anyhow. This boss fight. Damn, now we're out of rings. This sucks. If this isn't the final hit. No! No! Okay, that sucks. That sucks. It's okay, I have a strat. I'm gonna be a little risky so that we can just get this over with. But if memory serves, this is the second to last stage. So there's at least that. Okay, just a little aggressive with it. Awesome. See, when you play offensively and not defensively, it's just a little better. Hey, look, we got the 1 in, 5% chance. Even though it was just rings, that's good. I had so much fun. But yeah, I think the vibes weren't maxed out. But that's okay. Not every session has to be, whoa, awesome, crazy style. Yeah, it happens. It's a thing that happens on occasion. Plus, it's the thing where, like, we don't do it for, like, a month, and then everybody has to get back into it. So surely next time it'll be a lot more fun. I'm more looking forward to Wraith Rod, because Peeps is very passionate, and I like sharing in other people's passion. It's infectious. Alright, moving forward. The background to this stage looks really good. Shame we gotta go back underground. Whoa, forgot about this thing. Uh-oh. Oh, you just die? Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, I can showcase this. So I'm gonna pause really quick. For anyone around, I got some wonderful fan art. I hesitate to call it fan art, but it's from my husband, and my husband's my biggest fan, and I'm completely happy with that. This is a lovely piece that they finished. It's me. It's me. Look at me. And there's Pan's avatar. I think his name's Panem, and he's giving me a big old touch, and I'm small, and I think that's adorable, and I love me, and this is so fun. I love this piece to death, and we have it as matching profile pictures right now. I'm just a really big fan, and I hope you guys are too. And yeah, it's so fun. I'm adorable in this. Anywho, back to our regularly scheduled program. I got little notes at the side to read to remind me of topics that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to talk about this on the rare occasion. So that's good to consult because I almost completely forgot that I had that on standby. I wasn't able to showcase it in the last stream when it was finished, unfortunately, or at least when it was in progress, because my laptop is not very good at handling multiple things. But that's something that I'll be able to rectify eventually. Awesome, I did it. And yeah, I enjoy all of Pan's art. Pan's an amazing artist, and I love them to death. Oh, what the hell? Sorry, that was all the game. I know some streamers who do that. It seems to help a lot. Yeah. I kind of forgot which specific thing we were discussing when it comes to, like, you know, I know streamers who do that, but I'm certain I would agree. Let's see. Yeah. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. It'll be fun to stream together sometime. I really hope Pan, like, does that, or at least uses it for, like, art streams. It'd be very fun. Pan used to do art streams all the time, and it was really fun to be a part of. Okay, gotta not blow this one. There we go. Now, hopefully, this stupid stage element doesn't come out of nowhere to crush me. Awesome. There we go. Okay, now what? Okay, this goes back at least. That's good. I'm locked in just a little bit because this stage is more of a maze than I remembered. I'm kind of blowing that. There we go. Awesome. And we move on. Oh, to have a list of topics. Yeah, no, it's really good to do. I find. I wasn't able to do that as much with the Final Fantasy streams because in order to get through that game faster without having a lot of, like, time just, like, staring at my notes, I just had, like, a walkthrough, basically, that I had hand transcribed in my own words. That way I wouldn't get lost. But that still worked out. I like this a lot better. Let's see. Yes. There we go. Whew. Oh yeah, no, that stage is over. We're in Launch Space Zone. This is the final zone in base Sonic 3. It's kind of imposing. This is one of those ones where the original music was done by Michael Jackson, but the music that they replaced it with, I think, is good. I'm not really a huge fan of either track, really. I like streaming. This is also like my game time. I don't really play games during like the morning or during the day as much unless it's with friends because I do a lot of silly creative stuff and whatnot. And I'm also just trying to branch out, you know, go outside, things like that. And I'm trying to get into reading more. It's not like I'm reading good literature, mostly manga. Like, I collected all of Dragon Ball, and I don't really read them when I get them, because I just want to own all of them. I own, I think, 6 of 7. Oh no. Oh no. I know I said the funny thing. Also, that was a lie. I don't know why my brain said 6 followed by 7. I know why. But, no, I have 6 of 9. There are 9 total volumes of Dragon Ball, and I have 6 of them. So eventually I'd like to get the other 3 just to say that I have all of them. And that's something we do on the side. Pan owns, I think, yeah, 2 whole sets of manga. Maybe 3. There's Fruits Basket, Evangelion, and Death Note. The Death Note one is really cool because they're all, like, in black, and it's just really cool, and they're all next to each other. That's awesome. I'm trying to collect all of Naruto. Oh, that's so fun. That's probably a far more Herculean endeavor, honestly. I don't know how many volumes that is, but I imagine it's a lot, especially if we're taking the, like, other things into the mix. I think during our ranking that me and Pan did, where we're like, oh yeah, let's watch a bunch of, you know, first episodes of anime and rank them purely based on that. Naruto got really high up there. Naruto is a really strong start. I think if, like, any of the, like, big 3 shonen, I think that one has a very strong first episode. The other 2 are antics. Like, One Piece's first episode, you don't really get anything cool until, like, the very end, the cliffhanger, they show Zoro, and it's like, oh, who's this guy? This is gonna be cool. And then for Dragon Ball, you know, you have, like, the stuff with Raditz, and, like, Gohan gets captured. But it's not anything, like, crazy, I'd say. We're like, oh, I'm really hooked. I can't wait to see the next thing. Naruto did a lot of heavy lifting, because I was very invested in the world building as well. Hey, am I going in a circle? I was just here. What's going on? Naruto is 72 volumes. Wild. Oh, the mega volumes. I had some. Yeah, I collect the Vizbigs. I think a lot of other companies go through them. But it's basically like a compilation instead of the, like, soft cover versions. So that way, you know, it's a little more expensive up front. It's like $20 per volume of Dragon Ball, but I have all of them, and they're nice and compact, and they look really cool on my little shelf thing that I have them set up on. It's just a great conversation piece. I like collecting things, because I want people to, like, my dream is for people to come into my house, and they ooh and ah at all my knickknacks and my interests. And I'm like, haha, yeah, I'm so cool, you love me. Love my interests. Let's talk about them for a million years. That's why, like, I own a lot more stuff like that than Pan, because I see a lot of sentimentality in gifts like that, because it's like, oh, I know you love this thing, so I got you this thing, because I know you love it, and then I start crying. Also, that alarm is definitely honing these guys in on me. Me too, I can't wait to give you a tour. I'm gonna be so thrilled, it's gonna be so fun. I've only seen a couple of your like, knick-knack shelves, and I love them. I don't even want to call them knick-knack shelves, that feels, like, rude. It's like, no, these are, like, the things that you love. But there's not really a word for, like, shelf of things that you collect and love. I think my most prized possession of, like, anything that I own that I've collected is my Hawaii Part 2 vinyl. Because when I got into collecting things, I started collecting vinyl. And the thing that I wanted above anything else was that. So I had Joe Hawley's Twitter account on, like, standby. It was the one thing I used Twitter for, with notifications on. And I was just, like, waiting at the bit for like some sort of note, because I knew he would shadow drop it, and he did. Just one day, it's like, hey, no big deal, Hawaii Part 2 on vinyl's available again. And the reason why that's a big deal is because prior to that, there was only one release of it in vinyl in like 2012, and those copies go for like $2,000 nowadays. Like, I would never get access to that. But I got access to the re-release that was only available for 15 minutes. I paid $50 for it. And I'm like, okay, Pan, don't be upset, but I spent money. And it's like, okay, what'd you spend it on? And I showed him, and he's like, oh my god, you actually did it. It's like, yes, now you can't be mad at me. And it's like, no. So I have that. And it's my prized possession because it is a poo-poo brown vinyl variant. It is a, like, actually shit brown vinyl. That was only available for 15 minutes, and that vinyl is now worth more than the original 2012 release because it is so rare. I think there was only like 50 made. And now you can't even get Hawaii Part 2 vinyl anymore, let alone that one. So yeah, that's like my favorite thing ever. I love showing that to people. There we go. That's badass. Whoa. Yeah, it's like really, it's really cool. I also own the rest of the Tally Hall vinyls, and I'm in the process of getting the Red Vox discography. And that's actually something Aaron contributed to. Aaron gave me the final Beatles vinyl last Christmas. The only one I was missing was Sgt. Pepper, and I got that, and it's from a friend, so I can, like, hold that and, like, you know, put it on and be like, oh, it's this thing my friend got me. It's, like, you know, part of my collection, but it's got even more worth because someone else gave this to me to contribute to it. It's nice. Alright, where am I? I kind of hate this stage layout. We do have a Trigun Shrine. Ooh, I don't know if I've seen that. That sounds fun. There we go. I have been reading and following Trigun. I'm on volume, I think, 16. I'm very much going to continue that. Or, like, chapter or whatever it's called. Not, like, volume. I think a volume was, like, several chapters. And I'm going to continue it. I have written that that's, like, the next reading thing I'm going to take seriously when I'm in the mood to, like, binge something. It's still in my tabs on standby. There we go. If I can stop being hit by anything that moves. I flinched when I got hit by that flame in real life and made my cat freak out. It was next to me. It's like, what's wrong? It's like, okay, nothing. Go back to bed. It's okay. It's okay. Darn, I did it again. This is the last stage, though. Unless this is 3 acts, which I doubt. I think we're nearing the end of Sonic 3. Which is not something I thought I'd be saying this early. This is turning out to be about the same length as Sonic 2 was. I think I got through Sonic 2 in like an hour and a half. Unfortunately, there's no direct Game Gear parallel to this game, unlike there was with 1 and 2. I think the closest you have is Blast. In Sonic Blast, I think you can play as Knuckles. It's like a weird pseudo-sequel to this game, but I don't know if that's like a fan thing someone did or if that's just actually how it was. I do not recall. I am itching to get into more Racketeer. That's gonna be that's gonna be very enjoyable. I had way more fun with that than I thought I would. I thought it'd be just like a one-shot of like, oh yeah, let's try this game I've always wanted to play, and then I find out it's mid, and it's like, okay, it's mid, but it was still a fun time to try it. It's like, no, it is actually enjoyable. It's not like a 10 out of 10 or anything, but it's got unique mechanics, and the game is short, and I'd like to finish it out, even if it'll take another stream or two. It's quaint. I mean, obviously people like it. It had a really good turnout, so I think that's good for everyone, really. There we go. Unfortunately, if all goes well, next stream you will have to deal with ads, which is a big womp womp. I'll figure out what I'm going to do there. I don't know if I'll do the thing where I just, like, front load you guys, that way you don't have to suffer for the rest of the stream. Or if I, you know, sprinkle them throughout. We shall see. We shall see. I don't remember what this fight's about. Oh! Okay. Just throw a bowling ball at me? It's like, okay. Yeah, no, I'll give you a little platform to jump on. Ah, that's the fuck you. That's the fuck you cannon. It shoots a big ball from inside the wall that hurts you. Aren't I clever? That's evil. Alright, this is it. This is the final boss. This song goes really hard. Genuinely, I think this is the best of the 3 final boss themes in this game. Or in this, in the classic series. Unfortunately, it's tied to a boss that has a really stupid name. So the final boss for this game is called Big Arm. It's like this cool, like, imposing, like, really awesome final boss theme to an enemy called Big Arm. It'd be like you hear One Winged Angel, but instead of Sephiroth, it's like Deep Elbow. Lol, Big Arm. Yeah, Big Arm. Oh, hey, Tails is here. Also, Knuckles is gone. But he will come back. Sonic is dead. But Sonic and Knuckles is a direct sequel to this game. I think, like, no time passes between this game and the next one. Don't make me do this part again, too. That sucks. Luckily, when we get to phase 2 of the fight, I don't think that'll happen anymore, at least. Damn, grab those. Focusing just a little bit to rush this phase. Do we have to watch the cutscene every time of, like, oh, now we're going to him? That's kind of rough. That's okay. It gives me an opportunity to drink water. The one good thing about it being Thanksgiving is that I get to see the Macy's Day Parade. The Macy's Day Parade is actually my favorite, like, holiday thing, genuinely. Because so many people get together, and yeah, it's, like, corporate, and it's, like, really bad and stupid. But it's just, like, millions of people tune in to this, like, nationwide event where they just drag balloons down this big street in New York City. And it's funny to me. And the news anchors always, like, completely mispronounce the names. It's like, yes, that is Sangaku from Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It's, like, really funny. And it's like, he has his own... This is the first time he's had a balloon this year, guys. And there's all these, like, horror stories of, like, you know, the balloons, like, catching on something and, like, injuring people. No! Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. I kind of freaked out a little bit. Really close to the mic, and I'm sorry. But, like, oh, that would have really sucked if I just fell to my death. I'd like to get through this phase. There we go. Awesome. I jumped. I'm sorry! I freaked out. Yep, happened to the OG Sonic balloon and the Barney the Dinosaur balloon. Yeah, the Barney... Oh, this is Big Arm. This song slaps. Oh, so good. The Barney the Dinosaur balloon and the Sonic balloon are really funny, because those two specifically are balloons that, like... So, they'd flip out, they like, injured someone, and then what would happen is, like, 5 police officers would swarm the balloon to, like, take it down. like it's a bad individual. Like, they'd like pull it down and start, like, slicing it with, like, Bowie knives. Just putting them down. Oh, it's so good. I love this song. On the bright side, if memory serves, I think if we die, we're gonna be put back on this section of the big arm fight. This fight gave me a lot of trouble. This fight, to me, was harder than Death Egg Robot. So I'm kind of surprised I'm doing good. Not to speak too soon, but, like, I don't know. It's working out. Just gotta lock in just a little bit. Damn. I didn't lock it enough, I guess. But yeah, it's really funny to me. Ah, and I gotta do this part too. Ah, this sucks. I hate Big Arm. Alright, speedrun go! Also, I could have sworn in the original, like in the Genesis release, Tails did not accompany you to fight Big Arm. That might just be an Origins thing. Also, what is kind of sucky about the Origins version is if you play the, like, classic version of the game within Origins, I'm pretty sure it's just the same Origins version, just cropped to be in 4x6, and they just give you lives. It doesn't, like, revert the music or anything like that. It's not like a ROM, which, to me, would be just a little preferable. I don't know. The original physics were, like, slightly different and things like that. I don't know. No, Tails stayed behind standalone Sonic 3. Okay, cool, yeah, that's what I remembered. First time I fought Big Arm was on the PC collection. No controller back then. I had to use the arrow keys and enter button. That sucks! But I'm pretty sure the PC, unless it was like the Mega Collection, I think Sonic 3 did get a disc release. And it's that one that the Michael Jackson replacement songs are, like, extracted from. But it could be, like, the beta for that, I remember. Tails, please grab that. Yeah, the Sonic 3 and Knuckles collection. Awesome. Yeah, I think my first experience with this game was with the Mega Collection on GameCube and PS2. And then, weirdly enough, the, like, weird, dumbed-down DS Mega Collection that I do not recommend. The frame rate is bad, and but I will say, quick saving is far easier to access in the DS Mega Collection. There are some weird ways to experience these games. For example, there's a version of Sonic 1 that was released for the 20th anniversary along with 06 for the Game Boy Advance, and it is bad. Because the Game Boy Advance sound chip is not very good, but that's like one of several reasons. But the music just sounds atrocious coming out of the Game Boy Advance sound chip. And it's like weirdly zoomed in. There's a lot of small things that are bad with that one. But that's like my favorite, like, why'd they do that release? There's also like a Nokia like version, I think, that had like a collection of Sonic 1 and 2 and maybe 3. And they used like a weird hybrid art style of the classic and modern games. So it was like modern Sonic sprite that was like taller and had green eyes. Focus just a little bit to finish out this fight, and then I will happily check that out. Sorry, that sounds rude. I see the messages flying out of the like corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh, I really want to read that. I will fail this. Thank you, Tails, for the W. Big Arm is big dead. We've succeeded. Everything's awesome. 06 Genesis was 15th anniversary. Generations was the 20th. Yes, yes, yes. You're completely right there. There we go. I did play them on my Genesis, but of course that damn barrel, which sucks. I was always taunted by seeing Ice Cap on the back of the box. I can't imagine that. We got to that, and I had a big ol' rant about it. I was talking to another guy when we did the Sonic 2 stream, and he was also venting about that, because apparently it says in the manual how the barrel works, but like no one held on to the manual because there was like, you know, back then it's like, you know, you get the game from like Blockbuster or whatever. Whoa, this just goes straight into and Knuckles? Dude, give me a break. I guess that's how it was intended, but still, it's just kind of like, whoa, abrupt. But that means that there's no Sonic 3 credits music. The Sonic 3 credits music is really good. But yeah, apparently in the manual that's not even there. Or like it was in the manual, but like people didn't really have access to that often. Okay, now I'm at an impasse, because I want to dedicate and Knuckles for its own stream next week. So I think I will probably exit this for the time being, and we'll showcase some of the Game Gear games a little bit. But yeah, unfortunately, no pomp and circumstance. That's the end of Sonic 3. Ding! And then we will do and Knuckles next time, because that is about as long as Sonic 3. And that'll be fun. And then following that, we'll either tackle we'll tackle like the scraps, so like some more of the Game Gear games, and then the advanced games probably. Just like, you know, showcasing them, but not necessarily trying to get through them all. And then we'll move on to the main course, the Sonic Adventure, and it'll be great. And then I repeated the process when you see Diamond Dust after Rusty Ruin in the 3D Blast title screen demo, only to get blindsided when you're thrown into Spring Stadium instead of Diamond Dust. Yeah, that was like a whole thing. I know the what is it? The Saturn version, or yeah, because the Saturn had its own version of Sonic Blast, or yeah, 3D Blast, which are separate titles, which sucks. it's confusing. And then there was the Genesis version, and they have different layouts. But apparently, recently, like a couple months back, maybe like 6 months ago, one of the lead developers for Sonic 3D Blast was able to port the game to PC with like modern quality of life fixes and things like that, which is a really neat gesture. Kind of tying into what I was saying earlier about like cool fan projects that are loosely tied to this. We'll do what we did the last two runs, where I try out the boss rush and then fail horribly. Yeah, Rush port job after Extreme got canceled. Oh yeah. I would have killed to have seen what Extreme was like, but apparently the conditions for making Extreme were just atrocious. Like, the plug got pulled partially because like the dev team were working like, you know, just constant like nights, like just night and day on that to get it out the door in time, and it did not sound like a healthy work environment. But I wonder what the world would be like, you know, if Extreme came out. Would it be one of those, like, weird things where it's like, yeah, it's weird that they did this for a little bit? Or would it be, like, you know, weird hidden gems, like, style thing? Never know. Because Sonic has done some weird things. But there's still people who are into that. Examples are not striking my mind, but like there's some weird ones. Sonic Rumble is like a recent thing, but it's loosely based on like a party game that was for the Dreamcast, and I know there's like a crowd for that, for example. There we go. That's what I wanted. I recently 100%ed Shadow Generations, and that was quite a time. Like, because I got Sonic Generations when it came out originally for the anniversary, and I loved it to death. It's a little short, but I enjoy it a lot. But I never did 100%, so I promised myself that if I bought the game, And even then, I waited for a sale. I would go for 100%, and I did. And the completion for base generations only took like, 12 hours, something like that. Especially with like the Chow things that they added. But for Shadow Generations, I swear, my playtime like doubled or tripled. Even though there's only like 6 stages in that game. Because the cyberspace, like, what equivalent or whatever from Forces, is just so... It's expansive, which is great, but there's no way of knowing what you have and haven't collected. So what I ended up having to do was I, like, cross-referenced, like, someone else's completed gallery and just wrote down what I didn't have. And then had to, like, strike it through in my notes when I'd eventually find it. Took forever. Because there's a lot of collectibles in that little hub world. And then right when I thought I was done, there's a whole mechanic where you go to, like, the Doom Eye, and it switches completely to a separate hub world. So then I had to do it again. It was awesome. And then doing all of the boss fights without any rings was surprisingly difficult. And the S ranks had some crazy completion requirements. You had to play that like nearly to perfection and like utilize chaos control like the works. Radical Highway needed your shit to be on point for those S ranks, especially Radical Highway. That last Radical Highway can choke on me. It was so bad. I hated Radical Highway. Like, the stage is really good. Like, when you get good at it, it's like, okay, yeah, it's good. But, like... that one, and then the one that did me in for the longest time was Chaos Island. The carryover stage from Forces. I did that stage so many times that I, like, dreamt of the music. Which is really cringe, but like it was that bad for me. Just doing it over and over for like 2 hours. So yeah, my final playtime on Shadow Generations was like 40 hours, which is crazy because there's some like full-length JRPGs I've played that didn't even have like that long that I put into it. Oh, that was cheap. That's fine. Alright, round 3. But I still enjoyed it. Shadow Generations has the best character writing the series has had, maybe since, like, I don't even know if Unleashed had amazing character writing. I hesitate to say 06, because while 06 is, like, 06, I think the writing, honestly, people knock it a little too much. I think the plot is fine. I think it could have done with, like, a little more time in the oven like everything else in 06. But I think if the gameplay was fine and the plot was still the way it is, I think it'd still be considered, like, a cult classic. My thing that I've always said is if they gave 06 just one more year and called it Adventure 3 instead of just rushing it for the anniversary, it would be considered a cult classic, and people would like it. Probably still wouldn't be everyone's favorite, but it'd be up there. Alright, how we doing? Oh yeah, for anyone here, there's an in-stream RPG that you can play if you hit !RPG. I'm sure you've already seen it, but then you can play the little thing on the top right, and it holds on to your progress and so on and so forth between streams. The highest anyone in stream is currently, I think, is like level 26 or 27. So you got some catching up, but it's still fun. Just shows how good Ian is. Apart from his Archie Sonic stuff, he really hit it out of the park during the Archie Mega Man run. He had so much stuff planned for that. Yeah, I never read it because I didn't become a fan of Mega Man until fairly recently. I played through almost all the games like a year or two ago, but I don't have access to those copies that I used to have. So I might have to find other ways of binging that at some point. But I love Ian Flynn's writing. Generally speaking, like, the critiques people have with it, I completely agree with, where it's, like, a little too fan servicey at times. But his writing for Shadow Generations, I'm like, oh my god, like, I nearly cried. I'm like, he gets it. Oh, this is amazing. Shadow's great. I'm at attempt 80, level 27. That's crazy. Attempt 80. Wow, 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 wow. I wish I could see, like, stats for how far everyone is in comparison to one another. Let's do... I guess there's mission mode. I've never actually looked into this, so let's skim it. Okay, so it's, like, little challenges and stuff. I didn't really mess with these, even though, like, that was part of the, like, bit that they toted with the Origins collections. Like, oh, you can do a lot of, like, more challenges. It's like, oh, cool, more content. But I don't really mess with this noise. Let's see. Well, the Legacy collections do go on sale pretty often, and we got the Star Force Legacy collection set for next year. Yeah, I never dabbled in the like Game Boy Advance era games. When I was playing through the whole series, I played through all of Classic Mega Man, and then all of the X series, and then I got to Zero. And my brain just died. Something about the mission structure, I wanted nothing to do with. It was just so different to me. And then, you know, Star Force and those games are just like a completely different ballpark because, you know, it's like a tactics game. So I think if I hyped myself up for it, I'd be really into it. Let's see here. Sonic Chaos. We're looking for... I much prefer the fan remake of this game, but we'll try out Sonic Blast just to, like, kind of showcase where the series was at this point. Players choose between Sonic or Knuckles in this title that brought pre-rendered graphics to the Game Gear. Pre-rendered is a bit of a stretch. It's not the greatest. But it is what it is. I like the fan remake a lot. I played through it fairly recently. But I've never played through the original. So we'll try it out. We're not going to get through it on stream, but we'll give it a good 15 minutes. Might have to turn the volume down just a tad. I can sense this sort of thing. Let's bring that puppy down. Just like 2 decibels. Alright. Sure you're not thinking of Triple Trouble. Triple Trouble. Let's see. I am thinking of Triple Trouble, actually. You're completely right there. I don't think Sonic Blast has got a fan remake. What am I on about? Look at him go! Oh yeah, this is happening. Oh, look at him in all his glory. Wonderful. I know this is what a lot of those, like, bootleg Sonic games are based on, is this, but this really does look like, you know, Sonic 25 or whatever. It's awesome. Woo! Look at that speed! Oh, yeah. This is really funny to me. But yeah, what was I on about? I'm trying to remember. My favorite... I liked the X series more than I thought I would. Oh, we have Blue Sphere here? Okay, no, just collect 50 rings. That's fine. My favorite game in the X series... like, obviously the original is still a 10. But I really liked X4. I think X4 really did it for me. And then X5 and 6 were frustrating in the plot, which typically, you know, I don't pay the greatest attention to because, you know, it's a platformer. I have to give them the benefit of the doubt, so on and so forth. But, like, it goes in some really dumb directions. Especially X6. And I'm like, no, why? It's clear Keiji Inafune, like, wanted the series to end but just kept getting dragged back into it. It's like, okay, this is the last one. Okay, this is the last one. And then in the classic series, my favorite has always been Mega Man 7. I just think the art style reached its peak there. And the music's amazing. And it ends on like a surprisingly dark note, which sucks because obviously, you know, Mega Man 8 happened and kind of threw that out the window immediately. But the I think 9 and 10 were far better than I remembered on the Wii. Honestly, if you take the model and craft better looking zones, Blast could have been a good Genesis game. Game Gear really limits it. Yeah, the screen size especially really does it in. I had the same qualm with 1 and 2 on Game Gear when we showcased those. My memory is starting to come back a little bit for Blast. I remember when I was younger playing it, and I liked it because it was short. Like, the levels were short. It was like, okay, I feel like I'm making progress. Because, you know, when you're a kid and you suck at games, if you make any sort of progress, it's like, this game's good because I haven't died yet. I think that's where I was at the time. When I was a kid, I was pretty dumb. I was lucky to get past, I don't think I ever made it past Spring Yard Zone. Until I was like 10 or older. But we also had one of those plug-in plays from like 2006 that had a lot of other Genesis games. The only Sonic game on there was Sonic 1, unfortunately. But, not unfortunately, I do love Sonic 1. I just think it would have been nice if they at least slapped 2 in there or something. There's a lot of good Genesis games people sleep on. Like, you know, there's Golden Axe, Altered Beast. Like, there's a lot of good stuff. Kid Chameleon, which I'm pretty sure was made by Sonic Team. Okay, it might be screwed here. Where am I? It's just kind of stuck underwater. Can I make it out? We'll see. Not a guarantee. We'll make it. Oh! Okay, so I can climb up this a little bit. Or I get like a second jump when I'm just barely breaching the water? Weird. Well, at least it's a way out. It's a fail-safe at the very least. I'm into that. You do have a double jump here. Yes. Just figured that one out. Yeah, my memory on the Game Gear games are really fuzzy. I do like that they were a reward, oftentimes, especially in, like, the Mega Collection, where you do something like, oh yeah, you got, like, a couple, like, you know, Flickies and Flicky or whatever, and it's like, here's Sonic Blast, here's Sonic Drift. Let me actually quick save. I don't think I've taken any damage since starting this game. I'm not saying I'm a god game or anything, but I am saying it's surprisingly easy so far. But it is also the first set of stages, so there's that. Kinda looks like he's flipping us off, not gonna lie. Yeah, that was 3 acts. I didn't even notice. I guess to showcase it better, I could have gone with Knuckles, but oh well. We're already in the desert stage. But yeah, I love this series. This is one of 2 franchises I can yap about at any time of day, regardless of mood, or like how long it's been since I've touched any of the titles or something like that. It's this and Final Fantasy I will not shut up about if prompted. Where am I? Okay, there we go. We won't be touching Tales of Sky Patrol though. That one's whatever. I do like that that was actually, like, the plot of that was loosely covered in the IDW stuff. I just love how, like, weirdly canon and not canon a lot of entries are. Like, where the hell's Tails Sky Patrol supposed to fit into this? I think I tried, like, writing my own, like, idea of the timeline. I'm like, okay, so this is taking place, like, between, you know, 3 in the adventure games, and, you know, it's like Baba Yaga or whatever the, like, antagonist of that game is, like the witch. Like, that's where the storybook games come from. Something like that. I don't know. It was like a weird day. I was, like, sick. Like, years ago. And I'm like, I'm just gonna write my own idea of the timeline. Because Sega is inconsistent. And they're like, everything's canon 1 minute. And then the next they're like, actually, we don't care, and nothing is. It's like, you can't say everything and nothing is canon. But I guess a lot of game franchises work that way. Like, if you really look at it, there's not a lot connecting the Zelda timeline aside from certain instances. But people wanted a timeline, so they made one. Similar scenario, from my point of view, anyway. Oh boy. They were all unlockables in Adventure DX. As for Mega Collection, it really feels incomplete with the US releases. 6 were on Plus, and the other 6 were on Game Collection. I was lucky to have Plus. Which is a bit of an issue considering Gems only got it. Gems shouldn't have existed. there's like data to imply that like Sonic CD was supposed to be on Mega Collection and it just like wasn't. Maybe they hadn't like perfected you know, Sega CD emulation by that point, but still. Because Plus added, like, a couple Game Gear games and whatnot, sure, but, like, I don't know. It's a little icky. Everyone else in the world had access to all 12 games with only 2 collections in Europe and Japan. That's so cool. I honestly didn't even know Adventure DX had unlockable Game Gear games until I was watching someone play through all of the Sonic racing games in order. Just, like, came on autoplay. And they were, weirdly enough, like, streaming Sonic Drift through Sonic Adventure. Don't know why. That's what they were doing. I was like, oh, I didn't even know this was here. I had the DX version. Some of my first, like, recorded content is, like, me at 10 with, like, the GameCube version of DX. And, like, my mom's phone. And it's still in, like, my Google Photos somewhere. And I'm like, hello, this is Sonic Adventure. And I'm gonna get through this stage. And it's gonna be really cool. I think it was Egg Carrier. My sister's, like, screaming at me in the background the whole time. Wonderful. There he goes again. Awesome. Ooh, big stretch. Ooh, really good stream so far, though. I'll probably end things soon. But, in the meantime... I am Trim the Rasky. You can find me on just about, like, I say this every time, where like, you can find me on just about every social media. It's like, not true. You can find me on Blue Sky and Instagram under the same handle, as well as YouTube, where VODs go up, and also Shorts. Shorts also go up on the other platforms, but they mainly go up there. That's where, like, almost all of them are guaranteed to go, because sometimes, you know, to increase engagement, it's like, okay, yeah, this is, like, exclusive to YouTube, and so on and so forth. So it's really good to do that. I try to stream at least twice a week, typically on Wednesdays and Saturdays at around 10:30 CST. And yeah, next stream we're continuing Recketeer, and then the following one we'll probably move on to and Knuckles. Those are the days, of course. Luckily for me, when my grandma paid her technician to build me a PC, I had a TV tuner that allowed me to hook my GameCube up and record it. That's really cool. I had a friend that was really into The Legend of Zelda, but they didn't even know what Majora's Mask was, so I wanted to show them that the game existed. This is before, like, you know, what is it? Phones were, like, really mainstream. Like, you know, I don't know why my brain's not computing right now. But yeah, not everyone had a phone back then, and so I tried recording my gameplay of Majora's Mask over a VHS, and then I gave the guy the VHS as like a birthday present, and it's like, here, look, a Zelda game you don't know about. Here's me like playing through it and like yapping. But since, you know, he couldn't hear me, obviously, because it was on a VHS, I'd exit game at every save opportunity and select a new save file and start, like, typing what I wanted as, like, my name, like, to say, like, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. It was really stupid. I got the DVD art discs of the last thing I ever recorded. That thing was fully playing through Chain of Memories. Ah, Chain of Memories. Was it the PS2 version, or was it the GBA version? You were using the like adapter thing for the GameCube. I love Kingdom Hearts. That's another one that'd be really fun to breeze through on stream sometime. I've always wanted to do a critical mode playthrough of KH2. I love KH1 to death, and I think it'd be fun to 100% it, but the completion metrics for Kingdom Hearts 1 are really annoying. Gotta do like 6 playthroughs. And some of them stack, sure, but there's just too much room for failure. Kind of blowing this a little bit. At least the spin dash is in this. GBA version, I didn't have a PS2 at the time, but I got the console for free and later got, Chain of Memories. Awesome. Yeah, I own the collection, but I've never actually played Chain of Memories. I've kind of only played the Game Boy Advance one. Okay, good. And yeah, people have opinions of Chain of Memories, but I like it a lot. I think the card mechanic is inventive, and I think the story is actually really high up there for me in the series, even still. There's that one, and then like 358 over 2 days, I think, or ones people sleep on, where it's like, no, the plot for this one's really good. People just skip it because there's like ways of watching all the cutscenes online. It's not the best way of experiencing this story. I mean, I already played Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time, so cards were part of my life. Yeah, I remember there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game for GameCube, and it's like a weird RTS style game. And the atmosphere for that one kind of, like, scared me. I don't know why. The game's, like, kind of liminal. Even at the time. Okay, let's see. There's clearly a thing here. Awesome. Kind of a genius to think about it. Can't wait till Days and Recoded Melon Mix are completed. That's gonna be really fun. I've been following that closely. It shows a lot of promise. There we go. Plus, like, I don't know, Square... I'm trying to remember. I don't know if Square Enix is good about fan games like other companies. But I think it'll at least stick around, I hope. There we go. Darn. The only Kingdom Hearts game that I did was that I did just throw my hands up and it's like, okay, cutscene time. I'm just gonna watch all the cutscenes. It's the mobile titles. I've never played any of the mobile titles at all. But then there's, you know, that scene in Kingdom Hearts 3 where, like, you get to see all the Keyblade Masters and it's like, you know, all those, you know, the names of people who played, I think it was Union Cross or whatever at the time, and I was like, kind of wish I played that. It'd be cool. It'd be cool to be there. It'll never happen, but like, what a great piece of fan service. I'm blowing it hard style. There we go. Back on the platform. It's like nothing happened. What a silly, silly, silly mechanic. It's actually not the worst ever. This game's not as bad as I thought it would be. I'll give it that. In fact, I'd say it's a little better than Sonic 2 on Game Gear. That one I was not a fan of. And down the hole we go. Blowing it? Hard style? Yeah, you missed all of it. Oh boy, I think I did that in the wrong direction. Okay, now we do this, but in this direction. Considering all the KH3 mods, I don't think they care much. Kind of like Sega, they just let them be. Well, that's good to hear, at least. I'm confident Union X will be remade at some point, or at least get the movie treatment if they revive Missing Link after 4 comes out, considering they have all those assets they did before the game got cancelled. My favorite right now is all the people who are pilled and think that I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but that like, interesting looking, like, 3D, like, almost traditional style Kingdom Hearts game they were making for mobile. That got canceled. People think that they're going to reuse all that stuff for KH4 because a lot of like story stuff got leaked, and it was clear that it was like going to tie in quite a bit. And I don't know. I don't see it happening. I think maybe those ideas will the ideas will get repurposed, but I don't think any of the assets or anything like that are going to make their way in. It's good to have hope, but, like, I don't know. I'm doubtful. I just hope we can see more of it soon. Like, maybe at the Game Awards or something, but, like, that game is in limbo. Tetsuya Nomura said that it's like, progressing smoothly, and he's happy with where it's at right now. But I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. Because this is going to be another, like, 13-year wait. The difference this time is that we're not getting any real games in between. We got Melody of Memory, sure, but, like, I don't know. It's not exactly mainline. Well, yes, it is. Technically, anything Kingdom Hearts is mainline. Yeah, but you get it. I need to finish Rebirth. That reminds me of that. Love 7 Remake to death, but Rebirth is just so expansive. It's big. Are we there? Okay. There we go. Focusing just a little bit. I'm starting to feel the 3x structure with this one. I will say. This stage is feeling a little long. Alright, I think we'll probably get to the end of this stage, and then I will likely end stream, because we are at and around the time I intended to cease, unfortunately. But we will be back, likely, day after tomorrow to continue. Up we go. Okay, I see the gimmick. I gotta jump across. Bit of a leap of faith there, though. Okay. And go. Okay, just kill my momentum. That's fine. I don't really need that noise. Thinking. I do have the double jump. I keep forgetting that I have that. Awesome. Okay, barely made that, but that's what it's all about. Okay. Where's Tails in this one? Not that it really matters, but it's like, Oh, hey, there we are. Boss time! I hope you like my robot. It's the egg. This one just actually is just egg. Cool that I don't lose all my rings, at least. Am I even damaging him? Oh, yeah, I forgot. You can only damage him by hitting, like, the front. There we go. Okay, blew that one. Oh boy, I haven't touched Rebirth yet. I still need to get all the PS4 trophies for a remake before I import that data into Intergrade. I was working on it a few years back, then got distracted when I finally got to stream properly. Then going into 100%ing other games in my free time. Still need a Platinum Hacker's Memory and Time Stranger, though. Time Stranger's awesome. Though for the latter, I'm waiting till all the DLC before I tackle the Mega Plus difficulty. Yeah, I loved 7 Remake to death. Because I'm obviously a really big fan of the original. I like that it took a lot of liberties. It was a very bold choice, and I'm happy people came around to it in the end. Rebirth, even more so. But that's another story. I'm excited to continue that one. I'm not very far in. I'm only like a couple hours in. Come on. Alright. You don't have a very big window with this particular fight. I think Ann Knuckles is the one that I've finished the least amount of times. So that'll be fun next stream. 'Cause I will remember almost nothing. After Flying Battery, my brain's a blur. Darn, you don't have a very large window there. I'll probably just quick save after every hit. I think that's the strat for now. Focusing just a tad. With mixed results. I stand in the middle. That's clearly the thing. I stand in the middle when it comes out, and then I jump. But he does it so quickly. Because I don't want to jump too soon, because that'll happen. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Well, we were. That was so nothing. Ironically, if the game released as it was fully intended, you would have already dealt with Flying Battery. Yeah. That'd be cool. I think Flying Battery... Oh, Sky Sanctuary is also really good. Flying Battery is my favorite stage musically. Maybe in the classic series, just like in general. I love Flying Battery. And, like, it's clear other people like it, because it was in Mania. Okay, I'm counting that. That's fine. This thing's kind of like ice physics. Not the biggest fan. Okay. That's a hit. That's a hit. Look at me, I'm the guy who says what's happening on screen. Caught that. Hopefully last hit, maybe? Maybe? Well, darn. This is it. This is the one. This was the one. We will be out of this boss fight. I chose a funny one to be like, alright, after this, end of stream. So you can count the amount of reloads. If you take a shot every time, you'll be dead. Awesome, there it is. That's the one. Woo! That is game. We'll see what the next stage is, just like aesthetically, and then we'll stop. Blue Marine Zone? A water stage? No! Get me out of here. No more of this noise. We're done. We're done. Alright. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm very happy that we had another wonderful turnout. You're all the very best. Imagine taking bong hits every time. Wow, you would be in the TV room. You would be absolutely destroyed. But yeah, thank you all very much. I should be streaming again maybe day after tomorrow, and I will see you all then. I'll find another guy to send you guys to, and we will go from there. Goodbye. Goodbye.